Joining us now to talk about the purpose behind that advert is the South African tourism CEO Thulani Nzima. Good morning to you, Thulani. We saw that ad for the first time last week, and it goes along. It looks like one of those soft focus, colourful, nice, warm things. You think, okay, this is very nice, but where's it going? And then, of course, it emerges that the star of this, who's been doing all these things, is actually blind. And it's I don't know, it just works. So what was the thinking, and how much went into this?
Well, good morning, and thank you very much for having us. It's always something very difficult when you embark on a groundbreaking brand video, as we have done. When we started on this journey, we knew we were up to something very, very special. It made us a little bit nervous. It took a bit of time. The essence of this was to try and produce something that's very unique, something that's very authentic and believable. If you look at James or Driscoll, he is visually impaired. So we wanted to make sure we put somebody who will be believable, and the fact that he's also from the UK represents a true tourist coming into our country. What we're trying to put across here is how South Africa is perceived, that the beauty of this country lies in its people. It is how you interact with the people that makes a difference. Don't focus so much on the principal actor in this case, but a lot more on how he interacts with the people, how he imagines himself when he is meeting with the South African people. What we're trying to address also is an issue around the fact that there's a huge awareness about South Africa as a holiday destination. That's been waiting. But there's always a leakage when it comes to the conversion. Once you have become aware of the country, do you eventually book a trip to South Africa?
Let's just watch it as it goes through.
That stops you in your tracks and leaves you in awe. Some people spend their whole lives looking for it. When you open yourself up to it, suddenly you find yourself in a place where true beauty isn't something you'll ever see. Because when you meet South Africa, you'll reconsider what you think you know.
I'm really interested in some of the reactions that you've had, especially from the online community who've seen this advert. For example, Fatima Adams says, I love South Africa with all my heart and all my soul. I was born and raised in South Africa. I now live in the US, but this ad makes me feel like Africa will always be a part of me. What a beautiful ad. What a beautiful country. I'm so proud to be South African. That must be the kind of reaction that you're looking for from a production of this nature.
Very much so. South Africa is known for its scenic beauty, its safari experience, but the one thing that we get from our research time and time again is that we are a very warm nation, very naturally so. The welcoming nature of South Africans. When you come to South Africa is the heartfelt connections that you're going to be getting. So what we're trying to put across here again is indeed an emphasis on our people. If we have managed to reflect the warmth of South Africa through its people, then we have done a good job in this particular advert. It is that which makes South Africa unique.
Just in terms of the tourism numbers, I mean, we've seen a bit of a tick up with the weaker currency, etc. But in terms of breadth of visitors, the UK is a natural market, Europe's a natural market. But visitors from South America and Asia, has that number been growing over the last few years?
Numbers have been growing very well. What we did in the past few years when we were faced with the global economic challenges is to make sure that, first of all, we maintain our market share in the core markets, the long-haul markets of the UK that you're talking about, but at the same time, diversify our interest in emerging markets. And we have seen tremendous growth out of the emerging markets. To give you an example, China has become the fourth largest source of long-haul tourism in the past 2 years. So that goes to show that our investment is paying off, and people are responding very well to our brand messages and the adverts that you've just seen now. That's exactly what we're doing. We have also focused on the regional African emerging market. The middle class is growing at a very faster rate, and we are taking advantage of that. We want to dominate that. At the same time, reminding South Africans that the kind of experiences that people come to this country for are yours to enjoy as well.
Ruben, in Cape Town, you obviously have the advantage that everyone, when they come to South Africa, they think that Cape Town's the only place to go. We, of course, differ. There are places like Durban and Johannesburg to go to. But you've got the mountain there, of course. In terms of South Africa's image and investors, how important is this kind of advert? It's short, it's sharp, but quite emotional, and the impact seems to be substantial in the audience that it's reaching.
David, I must be honest, it's the first time I've seen it. I think it's a phenomenally good advert. It makes me think of a few years ago where Thabo Mbeki also advertised South Africa, and he said we're a land alive with possibility. I tend to agree with that, and I think we're a great tourist destination, and marketing us on this basis can only be positive for the country.
I just want to make a comment to Thulani here, picking up another online reaction. Nothing of KZN, typical Cape Town production. This is more like hashtag meet Cape Town. Now, I'm from KZN, so I'm fully supportive of this view.
So am I.
So is David. So why nothing of KZN?
I don't think there's nothing of KZN here. Just look very carefully. There's a lot of Cape Town. The beaches that you're seeing here are Cape Town beaches. So, but people must understand that when you have an opportunity to showcase your country in a global space, you take snippets of everything that will make an immediate impact. And what you've seen here, in an electronic version, as we have done here, we have an opportunity to showcase the country, but in a very impactful manner. And you don't have much time here. This is a 30-second video. So just look very carefully. I have no sentiments about any particular part of South Africa. What I have sentiments about is what gives South Africa instant impact.